Although the Property Inspector makes it easy for the web designer to do a lot of formatting and marking up tags, there are many, many more tags that are not available through the Property Inspector. So one shouldn't be afraid of using some hand coding and trying out some other things in marking up their page. Let's try a definition list, a very popular tag, but one not available in the Property Inspector. I've made it identifiable in my design view by putting a DL in front of it to remind me this is where we will do the definition list. I'm going to put my I-beam right there and delete that now that we know. And in code view, let's bring that up so we can see them side by side. There are three parts to the definition list. There is the parent tag, which is called the DL, definition list. There is the actual word that will be defined, which is called the definition term, DT. And then there is the definition data, or the definition of that word, DD. In order to do this, we need to select the entire group to put the tag on that will be the parent tag, the DL. Right-click, drop down through the menu, and remove the P tag. We don't want the P tag on this particular grouping. Now we want to wrap the parent tag, or the DL tag. Right-click, choose Wrap Tag. Go ahead and start typing D. We know that we're going to make this a DL. And you can see that code hints appear right here. You can scroll down. And if you don't remember, you can start looking through those. There's the DL, D for definition, L for list. Select that. Hit your return key. Click anywhere in the document window, and that will apply. Let's check that out in the code view. Here's the opening tag, DL. And it is completely wrapped around. The opening and close tag has been properly applied. Within the parent tag, we need to put the definition term. Let's select that part that should be the definition term. Blue, all the way to the end of the sentence. Right-click. We don't need to remove a tag this time. We want this tag to be embedded in that parent tag. So select Wrap Tag. Start to type. This is going to be the definition term, D. And then, if you want to, you can scroll down, or we know that it is the DT. You can simply type DT, definition term. It pops up in the menu. Click anywhere outside. Let's look back over at our code view. And inside of the parent tag DL, we see the DT, or definition term. That was applied correctly. The third and last thing we need to do is tag the definition data, or the definition of the word we're trying to do, which in this case is the color of the sky. Right-click, again choose Wrap Tag. This one will be DD. And now Dreamweaver knows and intuitively understands that we're trying to format or mark up the definition list, and it jumps to the DD tag, which it's expecting because we're doing it in that order. Go ahead and hit Return or Enter. Click on the document window. There you go. Let's take a sec to see it in design view so we get an overall impression of how our page looks. And that is the correct display for the definition list. Remember, all lists have a parent tag and then a way to display the parts inside of the tag. The definition list is popular because it has two different child tags, and that allows you to style your content three different ways. You'll see more when we get to the CSS style sheets. Let's return to split view. And let's try it another way, maybe an easier way, some way that might make us feel a little more comfortable. What if we didn't know anything about the definition list? Well, one of the great features inside of Dreamweaver is our Help menu. Let's click on Help, and let's scroll down to Reference. Included with the application is a set of the O'Reilly reference materials. Let's click on the drop-down menu. These are all of the O'Reilly books that are included with your version of Dreamweaver CS4. It's fantastic. We will use the HTML reference right now. It always jumps to whatever tag you have your I-beam on inside your document. Evidently, I had mine somewhere inside the unordered list, but we want to be working on our definition list. So let's click on the drop-down menu for tag. It's in alphabetical order. Let's go up to D. We know it's a definition list. Select DL. This is what makes me love this tool. It gives you the opening and closing tag. It describes how you should use this tag and the parts of this tag that it has child tags that go within it. And if you scroll to the bottom, you'll see that it actually gives you an example. So if you don't know anything about how to set up the tag, you don't know how to use the parent and child tags, just simply select this, copy it, close your reference guide, and in Code View, let's go to the end of our definition list that we just created, the one about blue. Find the close tag, which is /DL, insert our I-beam, hit the return key, and then let's do a command, V or paste. Terrific! Now we have the example inside, and if we click on the refresh key on the right, you'll see that that example now is displaying inside of our page, but it's not the content that we want. Let's try making a new definition. I'd like to define what yellow is. So let's select their content and type the word yellow. When we override that, click on your refresh button. Notice again it appears in our design view. And then select everything within the DD tag or the definition data. And we will write yellow is the color of bananas and New York taxis. Again, click on that refresh button. Wow, looks great. I like to keep checking again in design view to get an overall impression of my design to see if the code and the markup looks correct, and that does. Another popular tag that you can't do using the property inspector is the block quote. Lots of us will be inserting quotations and indented items inside of our main body content. So let's move on down to the block quote, select that, and let's go into split view so you can see what's happening when I select those words. When I select those words, you can see that one, there's a line break in there, which we don't want, so we're going to delete that. And then let's select the text again. You can also see that we do not have the opening and close tag selected, and there's an easy way to get around this. I'm going to go back into design view. If you don't know whether you have your opening and closing tag selected, you can simply go down to your tag inspector and select that tag. If we go back into split view, you will now see our selection includes not only our content, but the tag. This is very important when you're going to be changing tags, that you get rid of the old tag and insert the new tag. Click back in design view, and we're going to use what we call the quick tag editor by using a hotkey, Command T or Control T. Notice now it knows that we have the P tag wrapped around this content. We want to eliminate the P tag and instead put the block quote. Again, it appears in our code hints. Select that, click on return, click anywhere in the document, and now it's properly applied. Beginners, again, I can't emphasize how important it is to keep looking in split view to make sure that what you think you did is what you did. There, clean code, block quote opening, block quote closing, no extraneous tags. This is exactly the way we want to mark up our document. So what have we learned? It's okay to hand code. Don't be afraid to try it. The help features, particularly the O'Reilly references, can not only teach you code, but make it easier for you to insert code. And finally, we have this great tool, the Command T, Control T Quick Tag Editor. The Quick Tag Editor can do three things: insert, edit, and wrap tag. And also, if we're not sure if we've selected both the content and the tags, always check down in the tag inspector at the bottom. This makes it a lot more fun, and you'll try a lot more things if you feel free to try using and inserting hand codes and tags.